Back in September, the Cardinals lost their first matchup against the 49ers. Can San Francisco sweep the series? Find out next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. Brandon Gaudin, as always, joined by my good friend Charles Davis. As CD, you look at the Niners in this matchup, you figure they've got to be looking forward to this one. They've got a clear advantage on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and they totally understand it, not just by running the numbers, but those numbers do play into it because you've got one of the better passing offenses in the league, a top 10 unit, going up against one of the poor defenses in the league. So I think we're going to see these guys take some shots downfield. But right from the start, I expect them to attack and get right after them.
Here's the Australian-born punter Mitch Wishnowsky to get things going. And we are underway from Santa Clara. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here come the Cardinals, and it is Kyler Murray from Oklahoma who leads them out.
And when you have a guy like Kyler Murray under center, it not only opens up your playbook, it allows you to draw up even more plays because he's among the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the league and a true playmaker. If flushed out of the pocket, he might even be more dangerous. The next step for him, being able to throw on rhythm and deliver from the pocket.
First down, Murray. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. On play action, it's Murray. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The numbers for Sermon in last week's game, 14 carries, 67 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working. And they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
Throwing now is Murray. And able to find Kirk complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, remember, these two teams met earlier in the year in Santa Clara with the Niners coming out on top. So a win here in Santa Clara would give them the season series. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. And this one is right through. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year, and with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there, nearly an opening drive INT. Burrow now off the bootleg. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow escaping the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Three 0 So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They hand it off to Mostert. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Play action. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Now Burrow on 1st down. Flush to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver, that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. It showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Now it's Burrow. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Tucker McCann now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Murray toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Tanner Muse in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. From the gun, Murray. Under pressure, and they got to him again. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They go play action with Burrow. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. Here's 2nd and 9. Burrow looking to pass, eluding the pressure right. Going to throw right side here, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now they're in the hurry-up to try again after the sack. Burrow. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
And And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. "35 yards that time on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, with something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago, where you see the final score there. Jared Goff, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. Next, we head off to check out another game. And things didn't work out so well as they fall to the visiting New England Patriots. Mac Jones, strong in the victory, as his guys run their record to 10-4 now with 2 weeks to go. And finally, a good one scheduled for Monday Night Football between the Washington football team and the Dallas Cowboys. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cardinals. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there. Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. This one fielded at the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Yeah, that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Running on first down is Mostert, but he can only manage a yard, and that's about it before he's tackled. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2, and it was the visiting Niners who won that ball game, so they'll look to make it a clean sweep here at home in Santa Clara. Flushed out right. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
To throw, it's Murray. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense.
How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On 3rd down, Burrow. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Mostert. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Back now here in Santa Clara. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Room to run past midfield. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals 40. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Burrow on his toes that time as they get the 1st down.
Play action. It's Burrow.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
McCann's kick up and good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3.
So that CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a two-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a two-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a two-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Nick Bosa in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Murray with a 3rd and long. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. Now Murray's got to have this one. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line.
Push him back. Push him back.
Now they go play action now. Burrow. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Burrow. And he whips that one incomplete there.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Here's Burrow. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already.
McCann's kick is good.
And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive this time. Murray fighting, lost the football. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And that will be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They're going for it. It's Murray. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Niners take over in terrific field position.
We play to win.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is.
That is caught inside the 5. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's complete. Touchdown 49ers. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Niners add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
It's a run with Mostert.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw pulled in by Hopkins.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Murray.
Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble.
And this is going to be 49er football. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. First down. Here's Burrow. Flush to his right.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground, incomplete.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow eluding the pressure right.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Burrow now off the bootleg. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback, because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down. Flushed out right. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
So the victory here for San Francisco. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start blazing, right? Their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for San Francisco, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0.
And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for Arizona, they've plummeted now to 3-11. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.